I'm here with Pratima Kramer at the Guildford Arts Summer Exhibition 2024. And Pratima, you're going to tell us a little bit about the work you've got here at the exhibition. So maybe you can tell us what inspires you. Well, just go ahead.
So I'm inspired by a lot of people I meet when I go back to India. And I always had the fascination with human figure. And so I started making ceramics about 10 years ago, purely by chance. And I have not looked back since then. So I have more or less moved from very simple form to making very delicate and very detailed figurative work, which often are people I meet and I give them a particular name. And I deliberate a long time before I give them a name. It has to feel right.
These are some of your figures, aren't they?
Yes, so these were inspired by the wedding ceremony I attended in India. Women get dressed very, they wear a lot of jewelry and it's a happy occasion. And one time when I attended the wedding, things had moved on since I've been in India and seen wedding, everything is colorful, coordinated, and also my fascination with pattern and texture. So these are to add a little bit of gold and things to make it more relevant to my culture and my heritage, really.
So is this gold leaf at the bottom?
Yes, some of it is gold leaf, some of it is very expensive gold paint, which
I know the one.
I don't like luster because that just comes a lot in your face, whereby this is just the subtle decorative things that I enjoy doing. I use a texture, screen printing to give the pattern.
Will we be able to see the back of one of the figures?
Yes, sure. Yes, and the detail is very much important to me. So I have a ladies that the back is just as interesting, and I collect quite a lot of things, and I use my texture very selectively. I know what works and what looks just right. I had taken away embroidery from one of my old dress. And I wasn't doing ceramic then, but I knew it was hand done and I couldn't just throw it away. So when I started doing ceramics, I have been using the pattern, the mirror work that you normally see in Indian embroidery. I'm starting to take the print. And as you can see, it's very hidden. It's not in your face, but it's there. I know it's there, and that's the most important things. And as a whole piece, everything comes together.
Well, they're absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got some more in a cabinet over.
So
here.
Then I started to get inspired because in India, elephants, you see elephant everywhere, and it's one of our gods, and it's the god that gets prayed before any other god. But as an animal, elephant is my favorite animal. So I started making, and things have progressed very much further. My first elephant was nothing like what you see now, but now it's been refined, and I more or less try to tell a story. So I often have birds, and then I started to put some monkey, and recently I thought I will create my own jungle where all the elephants and animals living in harmony. And again, I use the pattern and texture, and I spend a lot of time doing the face and the eyes. Eyes are the most important feature in any of my work, maybe a human or elephant, and that kind of like seals the emotion in something that is not live, but the eyes kind of like brings them to life. For me, that's very important.
They're stunning. I'm going to pan down here.
So this work was inspired by a line. It was just sort of a spur that we had to create a work in one of the exhibition, rooted in past and planted in the future. So I imagined a a little temple that is no longer being used for prayers and things. But wherever you go in India, things that are looking like, ruin, but there's always a lot of life.
Yes.
And to suggest that there is a life there, I have put a lot of animals, there's bird, and in fact, even the tree has a fruit. So I'm saying, wherever you go in India, or anywhere really, life is always there, whether we choose to see it or not. But it's just a story to say, it's life, and just treasure it wherever you go.
Well, that's a lovely sentiment. And I do recognise it, having been to India a long time ago with work, so it really hits the spot. Recognise these, and these are
inspired by our journey into Rajasthan, or even my own state, Gujarat, where I grew up. There are a lot of these architecture that is inspired by some of the Mughal Empire as well as Indian architecture. And once again, it's all about, there's no corner in buildings or anywhere. There's always life lurking around, and I tend to sort of, suggest that by putting quirky, either a bird or a monkey or something. And this is my second in this series where it just a play with my inspiration and just make it so that it's appealing and people have an emotional response. I really treasure the combination of Indian as well as Muslim Mughal architecture and the combination of the two. And mainly inspiration is from Rajasthan, where just so inspiring, that region, because it's a lot of texture, a lot of color. It's desert, but people are just always very, very colourful.
well, these the way you put the colours together is very, very reminiscent of what I saw when I was there.
Exactly.
Absolutely stunning. And then we're back down on the ground here.
Yes. So this is my take on a newlywed. So I don't make particularly very caricatural men nor a woman, but the men are signified by having a turban on, and a woman with a very decorative outfit, attire, lots of jewellery. Went to a lot of weddings, and I thought, wow, I want to bring them in my home, so I sort of tend to make these figurative work.
Absolutely
a
gorgeous.
lot of details.
Beautiful again. I'm hoping that people can see this on the video. Absolutely stunning.
Well, I have a website, so people are free to look at, and there's a lot of detailed story about me as well, where I come from, where I grew up, and what inspired me.
Well, that's been absolutely fascinating looking at your work.
Thank you.
And we are very honoured to have had you here at the exhibition. So thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you very much for having me.